When I say anyone can pray, Job really highlights that fact. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is R.A. Sweeney here to bring you another passage from the book Praying with the Writings as part of the Praying with the Bible series. Today, I want to talk about the first couple chapters of Job. We see some prayers that have to be some of the least expected prayers that we see in the Bible. So if you know the book of Job, we've got kind of this weird setting at the beginning where there's this guy Job who's really, really righteous, and God is just bragging on him to all the other spiritual beings like, hey, check out Job, he's pretty great. And we see the Satan comes in and starts accusing like, well, he's only great to you because you're great to him. If you weren't just, surrounding him with blessings, he wouldn't bless you. And God's like, fine, go ahead and take them all away and we'll see what happens. And you kind of get this playing out of this scene of like, would Job follow God if God wasn't just showering him with blessings? And so it's really interesting because in the first two chapters, you see that scene of the Satan coming into God's presence and having a conversation with him and asking him questions and really asking permission, like, let me go do these things to Job and I'll prove wrong. I'll prove that, he doesn't actually worship you. He just worships the blessings that you give him, which is terrifying to think about how that would go. But just thinking like, here's this spiritual being that is coming into God's presence and saying like, hey, you are actually wrong about how you run the universe, and I think I could do a better job. And I've been saying the Satan, not just Satan, because Satan isn't a name, it's a title. Most scholars don't think that this is like who we normally think of as Satan. Satan just means the accuser, and this guy's coming in and he's making accusations. Could that be the character we typically think of as Satan? It certainly could be. I don't think that would be out of character for him to try to make those accusations and try to mess things up like this. But it's a bit more ambiguous than that in the story. But I just think it's so interesting that even this spiritual being that wants to come in and say, hey, I think you're wrong and I think I could do a better job. Give me permission to go try it out. God's like, okay. Yeah, come on in. I'm going to hear you out. We'll explore your options and we'll see how it goes. And God just welcomes him in, hears him out, gives him power to do things. And it's just mind blowing to think about even that figure could come in and pray like that and be welcomed like that. And so I think we often say like, well, God doesn't want to hear me. I don't want to trouble him. Maybe I've done things that I don't think I can pray. Like, if he can, you can. So that's my encouragement for this week. That's what I wrote about in this passage of Praying with the Writings, and I hope it's a blessing. Thanks, everyone.